Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the syllabus. So if you go into your Google Classroom, you'll go under classwork and then there is a tab that says syllabus. If you click the syllabus, and this is basically classroom rules, how things are going to work. So the main purpose of art class is to introduce you to two different things, the elements of art and the principles of design. And that's kind of the makeup of how you make art. Then there's lots of different mediums that you can explore, lots of famous artists and why they created and why it's important for people to use their creativity. So if we're lucky enough to be in the classroom, then we've got some classroom rules. The first one is that we're safe. We're going to keep our feet and our objects to ourselves. We're going to use all of the art materials in a safe manner. We're not going to goof off because we're messing with supplies that could be harmful. And if people start goofing off and not following the rules, then we don't get to play and have fun. And so that is the number one rule, is that we're going to be safe all the time. Number two is we're respectful. We're going to be respectful of the materials that you're using, and we're going to use them as they're intended. We're only going to work on our own projects. We're not going to go by and mark on somebody else's project. We're not going to vandalize anybody else's work. We're going to stick to our own work. We're going to be respectful of others. And then we're going to listen when others are talking. When somebody has a point of view, even if it's different than your own, we're going to listen and we're going to be respectful. And then number three is we're going to be responsible. So you're responsible for cleaning up. There's going to be cleanup procedures, and you're going to be responsible in the last 5 minutes of classes to make sure that if we're working with paint, your brushes are cleaned. If we're working with colored pencils, all of them are put up, tables are washed off, and everything is ready to go. If the studio becomes a mess, then we're not going to be able to play and have fun and make art. So we're going to clean up. We're going to put materials away after every use. And then you're going to store your own work in your bin, wherever your work is supposed to be. And you want to make sure that your name is on your work. We hate for somebody else to be able to say that they did your creation. So next is the consequences. If you choose not to follow the rules, it's going to happen sometimes. And sometimes it's just because we don't understand the rules. And so my first response is going to be a verbal reminder of what you're doing wrong and what you need to be doing. And so I will give you that warning and say, hey, we're not following the rules. We're not being responsible. And so let's make sure to, clean up. If I have to go to a second warning, which I don't want to have to do, but I'm sure there's a few of you that are going to push me to it. Second warning is I'm going to remove you from the group, possibly the classroom, and we're going to have a discussion, and we're going to redirect that behavior. And we're going to get things under control, and we're going to do it quickly. And I know all of y'all can do this. I have faith. And so I hope that we don't have to go to warning 3. But there is always that warning 3. And warning 3 is I'm removing you out of the classroom. We're going to go to the principal's office and your parents are going to be contacted. I never want to do that. But I'm sure there's a few of you that just want to test it. And so that's okay. There's always rules for that. So the next page is going to be some getting in a little more detail. So if you're ever absent from class, your assignment's going to be in Google Classroom so that you'll always know what we're doing that day. You can go into Google Classroom. You can even work on your assignments if you're sick at home. You can just go ahead, so then you're not behind. So you can always find whatever is going to be due in Google Classroom. So late work. If it's time to hand in assignment and you don't have that assignment, you're going to get a 0 slip. So a 0 slip is a contract that you sign that you state, I understand that I'm going to get a 0 if I don't turn in this work by the due date. And on that slip, it'll have a final due date. If you do turn it in, there's a 10% penalty for late work, but at least you get a grade. If you don't turn it in, you've signed off saying, I understand I'm going to get a 0, and that's just how it's going to be. Restroom. Go between classes, guys. We have a very short amount of time to teach class. We just don't have a lot of time. So if everybody's up and down and needing to go to the restroom, we're not going to get our lessons done. We're not going to get to work on artwork. We're not going to get to do the fun stuff. If it's an emergency, you can get a pass from me, but let's keep that to a minimum. So, attention sign. When there's lots of fun going on in the classroom and everybody's talking, and I understand we're going to have fun, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to clap and say, look, and then your response is going to be to clap and say, listen. So every time that I need to get your attention, that's going to be my signal. So we'll practice that in class. How you contact me? Email. Email is always there. I check my email all the time. My email address is angela.phipps@melbourneschools.org. And you can send me an email at any time. Your parents can send me an email, and I can read over it and get back to you as soon as possible. So tardiness. If you happen to be late for art class, but who wants to be late for art class? There is a folder right inside the door. That's the tardy folder. You will fill out your name on the date for the day and the class period that you're in. And then if is an excused absence and you've got a slip, you're going to attach that slip to that piece of paper. If it's an unexcused absence, you're going to check that box and go on. Sit down. Don't disturb class. Don't have an excuse. Just fill out the form. Sit down. You need to come to class every day with a pencil and a sketchbook and a smile, preferably. I know not everybody's going to have a smile every day, but I will, so you should too. Let's see. We're going to have a lot of independent work going on in the classroom. You'll need to make sure that you are working and not talking. If the class is working and we're having fun and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we keep our voices low and we're not doing a ton of talking and we're not getting too loud, then we'll get to listen to music or listen to a fun podcast. We've just got to make sure that we're controlling our voices. Basically, my guideline for success in this class is that if you try and if you ask questions, you will be successful. We don't always know the answers. We don't always know how things work. And so all you have to do is ask. If you don't understand, that's basically the thing, is try and then ask when you don't understand. You'll be successful if you do these things. So end of class routine. I've got an alarm set for the last 5 minutes of class that will go off, that will signal us for cleanup time. If we're not working in the studio, then that will signal that we've got to bring our discussion of whatever topic to a close. But you cannot leave until I say enjoy your day. We've got to make sure that everything's getting cleaned up and that we're good to go. Last is cell phones. I understand I'm on my cell phone all the time. I get it. But basically, while you're in class, they need to be put away. If for some reason we're doing research and we need to use phones, then you need to get permission first. Don't let me see your phone out without having permission or there being a reason. Otherwise, there'll be penalties. So that is the basic syllabus to get us started. Thank you.